Hey guys and gals, this is the second installment of the Lunar New Year Parade by LEGO, set number 80111, and this is the Chinese Festival Special Edition. So, here we are again. This is book number 2, and this is one of those build-together sets, so you can easily build along with other members, and some nice artwork. Cool. So we just, in the last installment, we just did this one here with the bunny. I think that's the year of the bunny, and here we're doing something with the drum. Okay, so the manuals are just nicely laid out, and we are going to continue on with bag number 4. Okay, we still have a lot of the stickers and some inserts. I think these are going to go on next in this installment, and some stickers. So yeah, well, without further ado, let's get going. And I got the other set over, the other part over here. Now, I am by all means completely swamped with Lego sets. I have a bunch of these to do, so I have to really get going here. So, I already did a brick exploration on these, so if you're interested, it'll be on my main channel. Although this one's got to be more in-depth. So we're going to start putting together our minifigures first, because that's usually how they do things in this in these type of sets. Let's put together the boring stuff first. Alright, so nothing really has gone on since the last time we met. As a matter of fact, this is a continuation from the other one. That was a afternoon build. This is a bedside build, so you can tell I'm really trying to get these done quick. Okay, so somebody's missing their head there, obviously. Oh, there it is. Let me leave the head off, because sometimes they'll have a costume or something. I'm missing the light blue legs for her. Well, they're sand blue. Never mind, I found them. And you know, we already distinguished in the last installment that this is a great set. I don't see anything wrong with this so far, so I'm really pleased with the build quality of this. It's a very pleasant build. Kind of want to build this. So if I want to come back and build, that tells me that this is not something that is dry and boring. So that's always a plus there. So I do sound a little tired, but the show must go on here, because I really want to get these done and start doing my own personal builds. Jay, do you have to do these? Yeah, I do. It's part of the thing I'm in here. Okay, so there's no head on, or no any kind of things, but she's got a happy face. I like these little different facial expressions. They're always cool. And I swear these man buns are hard to pick up. Well, today it's a lady bun. There you go. Alright, so I think, no, we're not done with the minifigures yet. So now we got to put together those, I think, the tambourine, or those cymbals, or I don't know what they call those things that you pound together. I'm not a musician by any means, like 2 of these. You gotta love doing, well, I like doing these unscripted videos. They're just fun to do. You don't have to worry about messing up. No, a tambourine has got the little miniature bells or whatever in the middle of it. I think those are just cymbals. Or somebody wants to kindly correct me on that. You feel free to do so. Oh, and speaking of all that, the stupid bots have attacked me again. I don't know what's with these guys. I haven't seen them on this channel, but on my main I swear I'm blocking more keywords than anything else. Somebody's been spamming adult sites on my videos, like links to it and stuff. And I'm thinking, first off, I already have myself a girlfriend, and second, I really don't want to see some sleazy stuff, so I just block them. I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. I'm on my time off. Matter of fact, I don't even give them a chance anymore. I just block them. I'm very careful in who I block, though, so don't think I'm going to just randomly block you, because I don't just randomly block people. All right. Okay, so she's done, so it's not too bad. Put her over here, wherever the other one went. Oh, there she is. We'll put her over there. So yeah, I've been just kind of chilling out and all that stuff. So, let's get going here. And it's just kind of sad, though, that somebody actually will post some naughty stuff. And I even contacted YouTube. Like, oh, just flag them. Just flag them. And I came out bluntly. I said, flag them? I said, that's like pissing in the wind. That's wasting my time. I said, there's stuff on YouTube. It's been questionable for years. You guys won't even remove it. I said, why would I waste my time? And I didn't. I was like, no, I'm not wasting. I don't know if I'm supposed to put that there or not. I was like, I'm not wasting my time. It's valuable. I mean, I don't have enough time to do this. I have like 10 more weeks left to get everything done before I have to go back to dreaded work again. Get my overdose of screen time. I'm not going to have time to... I kind of wanted to say, I'm not here to do your job. Maybe that's not supposed to go there just yet. We'll leave it there anyways. Alright, so we got to put the gobs of Technic stuff in here first. Okay, I'm recording. That's my fear. This thing doesn't even have a red light on it. So, doesn't have the red light. Okay, it's right in the center. Okay, good. And then the nail goes right here with the gear. So it's probably like the other one we just built, the one with the rabbit. Okay. Alright, there's another Technic nail in here. Another long one and another little cog. So right now, before we get to all the fun stuff, we're doing all this stuff first. I did not want to go in. Just make sure everything's loose. Okay. Okay, so that's how that is. Alright, making sure there's no bushings or anything like that in there. It looks like it just rests up against that gear. It's kind of crude. And then we got a bushing and a, whatchamacallit. Well, I'll just have to sit like that then. I never figured to build one of these floats I'm going to need a bunch of Technic skills to do it. Yeah, I'm tripping over a bunch of sets in here. It's starting to look more like a Lego room with all this stuff. Oh, those fit perfect on there. It's like almost like lights to a police car, but those are green. Not sure what that does yet. See, that keeps falling off. Okay, now I know why they didn't put that in there right now. So there's a whole entire assembly that goes on that. So we'll just pop that off. And now I know why. So I jumped the gun on that one there. So it seems like maybe a good 20 minutes of this is going to be just putting together Technic stuff. They got all these big giant parts and I'm just mining for the little stuff first. That's why I like building my own stuff. I don't use the little pieces, I use the big stuff. The big things. Of course, I'm an old school builder, you just can't tell with the way my style of building is. And alright, so we got it like that. Then we got to find more of those pins. So yeah, here's the deal. If you get this set, you're going to be doing some Technic work. So you're going to have to bite the bullet on this one here. Oh, and I don't have any more of those little friction pins. Do I have any of those in the spare bin? Yes, I do. You always keep your spare parts. I don't want to have to hunt around all night for it and waste your time and my time, so, you know. Yeah. There we go. Just gotta have to put that back on there. And you're gonna have to multitask this whole thing. If you're not a multitasker, you're gonna be in deep doo-doo. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's more of these. Well, these use different colors. You got to make another one of these, and it has to run perpendicular to this one here. It means I got to spend more time mining for the little pieces. So this one's actually made with gray ice cream things. And I have a bunch of these, but not in these colors. So if I'm missing one, I'm going to be hosed. Now I always keep my Technic stuff very loose. Okay, and to show you right here what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so it's supposed to be like that, which is what it is. Okay, so we're good. Make sure that the axle here is correct. Yeah. So it's pretty much all the same here. It's another gold beam and a bushing. Kind of wish I could play some holiday music in the background. But if we do, yeah, the copyright police will end up shooting themselves in the foot because they won't make a sale. It's kind of sad. You got your musicians who are greedy too. Especially when they're like, oh, you used one of our songs in your video. We're gonna have to claim the whole thing as our work. I've had it happen one time, and yeah, I'll let you claim it all right. I'll just delete the video and put scenic sounds in the background like birds and stuff. I've been thinking about doing it to a series of these. See if it fills in the background. Alright, I'm looking for one of those round pieces that go in here. I was working on bags, and I think I might have confused some stuff, so I was doing bags 1, 4, and 10. Did I even have an extra one in there of those? Yes, I do. I don't know. Maybe I do. I can't even grab it. Okay. It's either that or spend all night trying to find it. And then I box that in. It's kind of scary with this all loose. You gotta kind of get it all locked in place there. Can't do the fun stuff yet. Well, I think I found it. No, that's just a stud, or a whatchamacallit. Okay, so just like the other one, we flip it upside down, and you got to hold underneath. I sound tired, you know. I could just sit here in silence and build. You know, many years ago, I had a hair flip video. I had long hair, and I just sit there. Somebody just said, you know, it'd be funny just to make a video of you just sitting on video for like, you know, like on camera for 20 minutes doing hair flips. And I'm like, oh, who would want to watch those? I should just post it on one of these channels one day and just see. I looked a lot younger there than what my age was at that time. These have a high shine to them. These other plates don't. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, but I would just sit there, do hair flips, and just wave at the camera. You know how the TikTokers do it today? That's pretty much what it... Matter of fact, maybe I'm glad that TikTok wasn't around when I was younger. Because trust me, I'd be one of those kids that would be doing that stuff. Okay, we got to put wheels on it now. Like I say, these are like little train cars. I may as well start sticking these on now. It's nice to see other color Technic pins other than gray. Alrighty. Now I'm missing a yellow Technic pin. Because we're doing nothing but small stuff right now, and I'm kind of getting frustrated. Let's see if we got one in here. It's always the round stuff that kind of rolls off, so. And these dreaded angler plates that are upside down, because half the time I feel like they're falling off. In fact, I was watching a movie and I was like, man, I want to build something. I wish I could do this while I'm watching movies, but then again, I don't want to have to deal with the copyright police. Okay, so this orange one goes right next to this red thing here. You know what? Can I raise this up any higher? Actually, working with the camera sideways is not too easy to do. There we go. Now you can see what I'm doing a little better. No, we're not playing that game. I don't want any pages stuck together. Trying to pull a fast one on me here. Alright. Yeah, lots of snot bricks, and there are lots of angular plates and stuff like that. So there's plenty of... If you're looking for those type of plates, there you go. This set will definitely have you covered. I'm pretty much building the same car again, except for the mechanism inside's a bit different. Those these little stubs here, what are they going to do? Tickle something to death? Now we're getting to the big stuff now. Alright. That's the thing about being an old school Lego builder, you don't want to change your methods. Like, I like building with bigger bricks, and it's just easier. I think Lego one time was doing Duplo for seniors. It's easier to pick up the parts. You don't have to squint and all that stuff to put the pieces down, which is not a bad idea. We're all going to be there someday, so I'm a long ways away from being a senior citizen yet. I got to wait like 25 more years. So I got some time. Of course, by then you can retire, so it's not all that bad, I guess, huh? Have to worry about working. Well, the way everything is now, you're gonna have to work a little longer. Okay, and we actually have to take a nice dark blue brick, and we're going to have to cake these things on. That's a nice color combination right there, the cool yellow and the dark blue. This goes back here. You're making a whole plate back here. Alright. I love this color right here. I think it's aqua or light royal blue. That even goes well with that blue too. It even goes well with the medium azure. Okay. That's unusual, seeing basic bricks in the building guide. Yeah. Wait a minute, are we missing something there? Okay, I forgot to put a few pieces in here. So here we go again. I'm messing up. So I always get questions. Jay, how do you not make mistakes when you do in your mocks? Your mocks are so perfect. I don't ever see mistakes. Oh, trust me, there's mistakes in my builds. When I do the final, I always clean them up. But no, I do make plenty of mistakes in my builds. That's why I do several revisions to make sure everything is perfect for you. It's like doing a tutorial. I don't just give you some half-baked tutorial, and when I do a tutorial, I want to make sure that you can follow that tutorial. Because here's the deal, if you can't follow that tutorial, I know I'm not going to be able to follow it, and vice versa. So, I don't want to be known for that. Okay. Okay, a nail and a bushing. I call them nails. And one of these gold things that's supposed to tickle something here. Stick that there, this goes in there. And then it sits in here, I think. Okay, so what does this do? We don't know. Oh, that's an interesting way to make an oscillating gear. Look what it does. Each one of these reverses the polarity in there. See that? That thing goes back and forth. That's a really interesting idea. I could use that for something. That's not a bad idea. I never thought about that. Really clever. Learn something new. I'll have to try that in one of my other builds. Actually, I got an idea that I can use it for. I'm always trying to learn how to do new Technic stuff, especially oscillators. Well, there we go. Okay. Almost done with bag one. Oh, that's a lot of jumper plates. Well, maybe just the bigger ones. Gotta love these jumpers. I got some 1x3 jumpers and some 1x2 jumpers in here. Very handy plate. When I was a kid, it's like, why do they do these for? What was the point of them? You know, I think they came out when I was a kid. You know, pretty much what it is. So I bet they're going to use that for the drums. I bet the minifigure is going to sit on that and pound on that. Because it's all smooth tile, so I'm assuming something's going to ride on that. Okay. Sometimes I need to check my floor too and make sure these parts are not rolling down on it. And yes, these are off-centered right there. So yeah, when you build stuff, sometimes it's like a little treat, you know, to learn new ideas and stuff. Now, this is probably just like the other guy, so what I'm going to just assume that this is a mirror on both sides, so I'm just going to build both of these now. And then stick this down here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. We're not supposed to put them all on both sides, huh? So it's like that. So take that off, put that over there. And they show... oh, wait a minute. No, maybe I'm wrong here. Okay, I'm not even really paying attention. They're actually offset like this. So they're not what you think. As I was thinking of the first one we built. No, that's how it is. I got to really be careful with this because they're changing the building up a bit. There's one on that side there too. Okay, get that over there. Yeah, it kind of looks like a little car. It does. It looks like a little car, like an SUV. Let's see here, with an antenna on the top. Okay, so the Technic bricks go in here. And then 1x1s go on the back part right here. Alright. That's about it. And it tells you to flip it around, do the same thing again. Something's off. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Well, no, that don't make sense. Alright, let me go back. Okay, I see what's going on here. There's actually, that goes in there. Okay, so Yeah, this one's kind of, well, I can't even get that apart. May have to use, oh, I got it. You may have to really just follow the instructions down to a T here, because it's complicated. It's what it is. Not that I'm tired, it's just, they show that there wasn't paying attention to the arrow. There's actually one there. Why they put it here, I don't know. I do those type of building guides is it's easy for me to follow. Okay, so looks like we have nothing but stuff left here. And yeah, so we're going to start bag 5. And let's see here. And this looks like this is what's remaining. Alright, let's see what's in bin 5 here. Okay. This one's actually got a little bit more color this time. Okay. And of course we're going to have to build some minifigures. Isn't that fun? I just love building minifigures. Not. Okay. Start pulling out anything that's going to be used for the minifigures here. And yes, it's all small stuff, so we are going to be here for a while. Isn't that fun? Get to sit here and go through all the little parts. Okay. Well, let's put in the happy face. Alright. And then she's got the little man bun on the top. Or the bun. There we go. And she's got I wouldn't say that this is a drum, but it involves that. Could be. And then looking for this one little piece in here. There it is. So this goes on here. Like that. And then she just holds on to this. I don't know what this is. Somebody knows her instruments. You can help me out with that, because I don't even know what that is. She's obviously going to beat on that, so I don't know what it's for. There we go. She's having fun there, obviously. And we got to do another one here. Okay, making sure I get the torso on right. I thought I had it on the wrong way. You think that they would have had the skin tones on these a little bit more period correct, or correct in terms of, you know, since this is supposed to be themed in China and all, you think that's what it would be. Well, they both have matching hair, so obviously they're twins or something like that, or it's part of the uniform to have the bun. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm spending like half the time just finding parts for minifigures. It's all little details here. You know, just trying to find every little detail. So obviously she's going to shake these. What are these, Moroccos? I think I know that. You think they would have gave those a different color other than gray. I see them brown or red or something, but there we go. Ooh. Don't want to lose that back there. Okay, so now we're going to be back to the vehicle. So here's the minifigures. Pretty cool. And we're back to this thing. So you got to really pay attention here and start setting these on. And probably some on the other side too. I mean, that's literally just wrapped around, snotted up. And I'm assuming that this goes like this too. I mean, why would you have two different sides? I don't know. Now I'm kind of worried now. Looking for that other corner thing, and we'll set that right down in there. And yeah, alright, just taking a peek there. Goes like that. And then we use another one. Now I'm doing a mirror right now, so. And then you got to take some of these little taco shells, that's what I call them. You stick those in there like that. So I guess we're trying to match this corner here. Alrighty. Hear my neighbor getting ready to go to work. Now, I've got 10 weeks left, and I'll be doing the same thing too. You know, a reason why I take off bulk is because, not that I'm a workaholic, it's just every time you would save up vacation time, you make plans, they always get canceled or changed. Try to find somebody who'd like to go with you, and they don't want to do it, so you're like, well, okay, fine. You just kind of give up after a while. Say, okay, well, I guess I'll be working. And that's what you do. Okay. One goes on that side there. I mean, this really does have a lot of bright colors. I mean, this is really nice. But I see this being a summer build, though, more than anything else. And by the time it's officially released, it's going to be summer. I don't know when it's... Well, actually, I do know when it's going to be released, but I don't know if I can discuss it in this or not. So I'm allowed to talk about certain things and stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about, but you can always go to the LEGO website and check it out. I don't know if they allow me to link it up to that or not. It would be kind of cool, though. Alright. Alright. So now we got to put more stuff on here. Well, we gotten away with without using any stickers so far, but that's got me worried because I haven't seen any stickers yet in here. There's a hole there, but right there, but I guess it is there in the manual, so I guess it's okay. It's like, well, shouldn't we be filling that in with something? We got all these tiles. You'd think you'd fill it in with something to match that up, but no. I gotta come over here and do that. Same thing. Nice bright colors. Everything's nice and just lit up, so it's not lame at all. Alright. And then we have to grab a round tile with a hole, set that there, and a jumper plate here. Okay, same thing on this side here. I'm only assuming right now. And I got to go back around again. See, it's a lot of detail you got to go through. And I'm sounding a little quiet. It's just I'm relaxed finally. The thing about doing bedside builds is you don't get bothered when you're building. No ding dong of the doorbell, the ringy ringy of the phone. or the knockety knock of the knocker. Okay. 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 Looks pretty good. I'll have to do the other side now. So yeah, they really do pay attention to a lot of detail in these sets. You know that, and that's the thing though. You get your bang for your buck. And yes, Lego's expensive. Some of these sets are just kind of, well, ridiculously overpriced. But then again, you know, people like myself, you know, this is not something I normally do. I like to build my own things. But to relay my experience with you guys and gals, you know, say, hey, this is a really good build. This is something you should, you know, just kind of invest in. It helps out, you know. And there we go. Plus we can always do some chitter chatter while we're here too. I think that's where that goes. Yes, I think that's it. So far we're decorating. Looks more like a station wagon or something. Alright, so back over here again. So it seems like this bag here is just heavily glorified with just this type of stuff. I mean, we're not skimping on this one here. This is just completely detailed. I mean, oh, I already got it here. I may as well just put it here, huh? Provided if I can get it on there. Alright. Still got some big parts up here, but I haven't got to really touch any of those. Not yet anyways. Okay, well that takes care of that side. And missing that one there. You know, I just thought of something since we were talking about Christmas in another video. There was always something I wanted when I was a kid. Well, two things I wanted. I can only have one for Christmas. Right, because sometimes it's just how it is. And it was either a denim jacket or a pair of Reebok shoes. You know, the high top Reeboks you'd see. What was it, that show Double Dare? They always advertised them. Almost every kid had to have a pair of Reeboks growing up. That and the denim jacket. That was like a thing of the 80s. And I remember I wanted the Reeboks and the denim jacket, and I was told, well, you can only have one or the other. So for Christmas I ended up getting the Reeboks. And as far as for the denim jacket, no. Reebok high tops back when I was a kid were like, oh, I'm trying to think, $60–$65. And back then, that was a lot of money. It was like was that about $120, $130 today, you know, for shoes. And those were the most comfortable shoes I ever had, but I didn't have a coat. And I remember I had a second-hand coat that I did not like wearing at all. And remember there was this punk in school that would make fun of me for it. I mean, this coat was probably from the late 70s. It was kind of worn and stained and all that stuff. And this kid was a jerk, and he had a story of his own too. And first off, I never wore that coat again after that experience. And he one day said, "Oh, Mommy and Daddy couldn't afford to buy you a nice coat." And I completely this kid was just really mean. And I said, "Well, yeah, but," at least both my parents are, I said, "at least both my parents still care about me, and I don't have, my daddy is not in prison like yours." And this little bully kid, man, that made him cry real quick. Because his dad was in prison for, like, I don't know what he did. I think he robbed somebody or did something bad. But, I mean, I know everybody has their story and stuff, but this guy was just, kid was just something else. Making fun of me because I didn't have a coat. Well, at least my daddy wasn't in prison. You know? I mean, it does sound mean, but then again, I think I'm going to have to make 2 of these. Let me take a look here. But some kids in school are just mean, you know. It's like, really. Okay, we are making 2 of those. You know, some people are less fortunate than others. And one day I was kind of curious about him, so I tried to find him on Facebook, couldn't find him. And I thought, well, I have a gut feeling, so I was just trying the inmate directory, and there he was. I thought, well, that was a no-brainer there. You know, I was just like, yeah, I've never really teased anybody for being less fortunate. And that's just how some people are. And still never got my denim jacket. I did get a leather coat though when I was in high school. Yeah, but some of these kids are just mean, you know, they're brutes. And I think they're still like that today. I don't even know. I haven't been in school for so long, but I'm sure they are. But okay, we got to put a sticker on one of these. So this one here is 12. I'm going to flip these over here. So 12. Oh, they're both 12s. Oh, okay. Well, I got plenty of red tiles, but you know what? When I'm done reviewing this, you know exactly where those stickers are going to go. So, yeah, that's pretty much the story of the day. But you know, and it cracks me up today. There's still bullies, but see, back when I was a kid, though, we did not have Facebook or YouTube, TikTok to public shame somebody. Thank goodness there. I didn't have to experience any of that. I was like, dude, some of these kids are just mean now. Does it go one like that? Okay, I see. It goes like that. And this one probably goes right here too. And of course, if I got those wrong, I just take the tile off and flip them upside down. Anyways, though, you know, what I like about doing these, I can just kind of tell stories, stuff that just pops in my mind. So, if somebody's bullying, if somebody's bullying you, just remember, just, you know, they're bullying you probably for a reason, because their life is not as good. Just ignore them, and they still persist, and you may have to get a little brutal there. Hope it doesn't involve fist or bone breakings or anything like that, but it's just kind of sad though. I was thinking about that, and it still goes on today. You know, and yes, my parents are still together today. Looks like we're just building some kind of off-road Jeep. I mean, never figured I don't think I could handle being married for over 50 years. I think my parents have reached their 51st anniversary, wedding anniversary. You know, I mean, I'm not married, so I mean, I found Miss Right, but she's not ready. And I don't even know if I'm ready, because, yeah. Okay, so and sometimes, yeah, I do kind of get a little carried away telling like stories, personal stories, but not too personal. Like, I don't talk about some of those other things, but sometimes just an idea pops in my head, and I'm like, I hope nobody else experienced that, had that experience like I did and stuff like that. Somebody taunts you because you didn't have the latest and greatest. And honestly, everything like that is just material things anyways. Alright, we're done there. And 4 of those. Oh, okay, they go right around here. You know, it's like now you get older and stuff like that, you kind of appreciate things a bit more. It's like for me, for Christmas, I'd rather be around my family and friends than get a gift, because that's all that matters to me now. You know, if I need to go out and buy something, you know, like if I need something, I can just, you know, that's why I work, so I can, you know, get the stuff I need. And we are missing a tile here, so I'm grabbing them out of the spare bin. Okay. Okay. Well, we're actually going to cover up the windshield now, huh? Looks like a race car, but not anymore after we're doing this. So we got to make 4 of these, or no, 3 of these, and then you just do this, and you got to stick some stairs in here. I've seen guys do this before. And then they just go in these slots here. So, kind of fills that little void in. But speaking of the 80s and stuff like that, I pretty much have all my stuff when I was a child. Like I even still have my very first color TV when I was a kid. Have all my video games, stuffed animals, all that stuff. Oops, I put those backwards. So I kept all that stuff, you know, and I always thought maybe I'd, you know, give it to one of my kids. Of course, there's always adoption, too. I won't go into that one. There we go. Alright, so we got that guy done. And there's more tan. Cool. What's with all these big pieces? They're just sitting up there. They've been sitting up here for like an hour already, and I haven't even got a chance to use them. And that's another reason why I work so much too. I never want to go without. Some of these Lego guys are lucky; they have a spouse that they can do Lego all day, and the spouse takes care of the other stuff. I don't have that option. I mean, I have to get up and work and do all that other stuff that I don't want to do. But then again, marriage just sounds kind of scary to me. I mean, I don't know if I could handle it or not. Man, it's just a little tough there. Okay, yeah, it kind of looks small in the camera, but... Alrighty, well, so far so good. I'm not sure what that is yet. We haven't finished it, but that's what it looks like. Maybe that's the engine or something. It goes right here. Okay, it just fits right in that area, too. And no, I've never been into a fight. Never been into any fist fights. Never picked on anybody. Didn't see the need to do so. And that's it. So we've gone through all that now, huh? So now we just got up to here now. I just fast forward like through 6 pages. And now we're going to work on the front bumper stuff. Ooh. Well, that doesn't want to go in. There we go. There was always some talk, especially if you're younger though, like a younger AFOL, like in your 20s. Would women look at you weird if you do Lego? And it depends on the gal. Just from my experience, when they find out, yes, it's true. They will look at you weird. Some gals, well, I don't know if I'm making 2 of these. Well, obviously it's 1, because we only got 1 here. Like you say, hey, like I'll have a lady friend, I'll go on a date or something like that. She says, hey, what do you like doing for fun? And all that stuff. And so I do surfing and stuff like that. Like, oh, cool. Do you have any hobbies? And I'm like, yes. I tell them I fix vintage electronics for fun. And I do Lego. And they kind of look at the second one like, why? They kind of look, they go, okay. I had one time ask people, why do you do Lego? I said, it's relaxing. Well, why don't you just go to a bar and relax there? And you get to that point of like, oh, I don't think so. I'm thinking, nah, you're too quick to judge. I'm sorry. Like, this is just a relaxation hobby for me. Okay. I found out these things right here are used to hitch these up. Okay, so that's what these are used for. And they stick back here just for storage. I saw that on the box. So that's how it is. You just pop those things off. Are we even going to use that 2x10 red plate? It's just been sitting there and hasn't been doing much of anything. Ooh. I'm going to have to do that, I guess, huh? That just does not want to go in. Now, mind you, I got another bag to do after this one. That's not even straight. There we go. Okay. Somebody asked me, you know, what landed me into my job. You know, what made me decide to get into computer programming. It was actually by accident. Computer programming was actually meant to be just as a hobby of mine. It was just meant for fun. And I got into it as a job just because you know, my employer at the time asked me, you know, because he knew I was doing programming. I had my degree in it. And says, hey, you're into computer programming. How would you like to work on our servers here? And this is probably about 8-9 years ago. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can take a look at them. And got to be the point where I kept getting asked, and I got a promotion and all that stuff, and built up a reputation there. And you got to put stickers on that. So we're getting pretty empty on the stickers. So I just got into it, and I used to do a lot of like mod writing, and I would write up like live chat apps, something similar to Zoom, and go live with friends, and so we didn't have to rely on another web service to do so, and kind of just did that. And once computer programming became a job, that's where the fun stopped, and that's not going in, or maybe I'm going to have to really kind of get that down in there. So after that, I was just kind of, you know, now it's just, I'll look at a piece of source code and I just kind of cringe. And I'm like, ugh, I really want to work on that today. And that's what we have left for bag 5. Okay, now we're going to move on to bin 6. Okay. And let's see the damage here. Oh, look at all those little pieces. And I bet we're going to start with minifigures first. Not only that, I see the legs just sticking out of the pile there. But I'll guarantee you, let's see here. We're going to look together. Doesn't look too bad. And bam, right there. We got 2 more we're going to have to do. No, 3 more. Wow. I don't know, maybe it's just 2. So yeah, be careful when you get into anything that's a hobby. You get an employer or asking you if you'd like to do it. You know, just be careful, because you may not want to do it. Now, I like doing computer programming, but it just got to the point where, you know, somebody asks you for a job. Now, I'll do side jobs from time to time, and it just depends. Like during the pandemic, for example, you know, how many people were scrounging around for web pages and stuff. It boggled my mind on how many mom and pop businesses just did not have a web page or even a website. So like they were just saying, well, what do I do? You know, I want to still be able to sell goods. So I ended up getting a reputation. Well, hey, contact this guy named Jay. He'll help you out with it. He's pretty good, and he's pretty reasonable in prices. So, you know, in his pricing. So okay, we get a nice little guitar or something, or a violin that's printed. And yeah, it's pretty much how it all started. And it's just like Lego, you know. it's like getting approached for a consignment job. I've been approached one time for a consignment, and I remember, that's an interesting wig. And it was for a museum. And they had contacted me right before the pandemic was even thought of, you know. And I said, sure. They wanted to hire me for consignment for some work. So I was like, okay, I'd be glad to do that, you know. They would provide the funding for the project and stuff. There was a budget. I know I could have been well within that budget. And then, I think it was like maybe a month or two later, it was like mid-April when after the pandemic everybody closed down, and I contacted the museum. I said, you know what? I said, I'm off right now. I said, I'm working from home, but I have plenty of time if you want me to start this consignment job now. And they said, oh, we've been meaning to contact you, but with everything being closed, we don't know what's going to happen, so we're sorry, but we're not really interested. And I was so close to get my first consignment gig. But all the same, maybe it was good because I didn't have to worry about making it into a job or anything. There's our two lady figures right there. I think she goes for the drums. And that was it, you know. I mean, I was close. And never had a consignment job. I don't really advertise it. If somebody wants me to do one, I can. You know, I have experience writing up building guides, and all somebody has to do is just contact me and we'll get the ball rolling. I gotta make two of these too. Oh, it goes that way. There we go. So, never had that consignment job. Anybody out here is watching these, you know, I could do that. I can, you know, basically I would build with my own bricks and then try to get a complete copy of those bricks for you. And then what you do is you just, when you get, you know, once payment has been received and stuff, and I would send all that out, and then when you received your build, it would just be like buying a Lego set. You'd get the parts and the building guide. I would have to print out a building guide. Not something I prefer to do, because everything now is digital. But I know the cost of this stuff is pretty pricey. So, but this museum was not interested in the building guide. They were only interested in a build, and they were going to keep it. See, I've never done consignment work before, but like I said, if I did, it'd be a job, and it would just be, it'd be what it is. It'd just be work. And of course, I'd have to ask permission. Am I allowed to build this on video, or am I not allowed to do it? A lot of people who hire you don't want it to be revealed. So if I were to do it, I wouldn't be able to do it like on here and stuff. Oh, and after that whole thing with the consignment, I already had a rough draft done of this project. So now, since these guys backed out, and I understand with the pandemic and all, but I kind of threw away maybe a day or two's worth of time. So I learned my lesson there. Now I just ask for a deposit. So, like, you know, somebody contacts us, hey, can you do this for me? Sure. You know, we would talk on it. Okay, what do you want me to do? And if it's something they're interested in, they want to hire me, okay, I'll draft it up. You're going to have a deposit, and that would be it. But I'm kind of glad, though, I don't do consignment work. Somebody asked me, though, and if I would probably do it. Okay, so this just sits in here. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. Well, you can't move this thing with it on there. So you got the smokestacks and all that stuff. And one of these try things here. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Note that right there. Mine doesn't look like that. So I need to rotate this. This is probably very critical. See, it's backwards now. So when you get to this step, hold on. I'm still tripping over small stuff up here. When you get to this here, note the way that this X is. That is very critical. I don't know how critical it is in the build. It's 1-to-1 for a reason. So it has to match that perfectly. So this cross axle opening here, this cross hoe, has to match that one. Okay, now I'm glad I checked, because I would never have known that. And I bet it's critical for something in here. Is it important? Well, we don't know yet. It's critical. And this goes in here. Well, hold on, I think I may have broke something here. Okay, well, let me see if I can spin it here, because there's too much junk on here. So it's an oscillator. Yeah, alright. Enough playing around with that. So yeah, it's probably critical for a reason. So it's meant to use for timing. I don't think it really matters that much. But of course, you know. Okay, we're doing the drum next. Alright. So yeah, I'm going to say so far that I'm 100% satisfied with the set. But I would say it's probably about an 8. Sadly, because of the stickers. But I mean, it's a very... I'm relaxed putting this together. I want to build it. I'm not dreading this one. Okay. Would have been easier to put those other guys on first. Alright. Sitting on my makeshift sofa. Okay. They give you tons of these in cool yellow. I just got to be very careful not to get too burned out on this stuff, because it could happen. I don't know how these other Lego guys can do just tons of these Lego reviews at one time. You know, how do they do it? I don't know, unless this is their full-time job, but like I said, you wouldn't want to make a career out of this. I mean, unless you're going to be an ABS engineer, ABS plastics and stuff, but I have an interesting color scheme. Are we going to be covering that? Alright, so we're going to... Oh, okay, so this is the drum. Alright, so let's get going here. So this is probably going to be something interesting that we're going to have to talk about. Well, that's kind of interesting. Look, they have this big space here and this piece down here. Okay. I try to avoid doing that in my building guides. So I had to rewrite up a script for that to fill in the white space. But, well, Lego does it. I guess it's okay if I do it, right? I mean, right? They can do it, I can do it too. Okay. Um, all right. Ugh. Getting tired now. I'm going to try to get this thing done, do a thumbnail, and that's it. That means I have to do the next group of bags. So I'm going to do each one of these builds in its own little installment. And the reason being is to match up with their style here of stuff. So we got to make 4 of these here. And it's pretty simple. Basically, these go in right here. I forgot to put them in. And then you set these like that. And that's pretty secured, so basically they're just trying to match that contour there. So we got to make 3 more of those, so let's just start assembling things as we go here. Clean off some of the clutter off my workbench. Okay. Okay, we got 2 of those done. Oh, at first I thought that was an angler plate, but no, that's just a regular 1x2. Yeah, reddish brown, or dark red is starting to become brittle red. There's been some reports of this color brittle and breaking, even I've experienced. So, you know, when you have a whole entire drawer full of just slopes, it's like, what do you do? And there's not a whole lot you can do. The tile's supposed to go right next to this thing here, so I'm assuming that's what it is. And yeah, the tile's right up on that. Okay. Not a bad little way of making something kind of round there. Alrighty. And we're going to have to put stickers on these. Now, how the heck do you center that up, huh? Alright. So, how would one go about doing this here? I'm just going to peel it off and well, I don't know how I did it, but I did that real quick. Alright, that's pretty good for me. That's pretty centered. Let's do it again. I just set it on there slightly so I have those points kind of right in the middle there. I'm not going to commit to it just yet. Alright, and I'm just going to smooth it out. Okay, I thought that was going to be hard. No, that wasn't too bad, but those should have been printed Lego. Boy, look at that now. We're really smashing out the stickers. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty well slick around those corners. I mean, look at that. That's pretty close. These even line up perfectly too. Alright, there's the drum. That's got some weight to it too. And then this goes back here. So it's right on those jumper plates. There we go. Pretty cool. Alright, is this going to be a duplicate or no? Let's take it. Let's just peek on through it. Okay, this is not a duplicate. We could do. At least it's a nice color now. It's not tan and vomit. Alright. Yeah, sitting here for about an hour and a half doing this is, I kind of get tired after a while. What I want to build. Yeah, I'm waiting for another parts order to come in. And I need to order the parts for the tiny house to fix the corrections that I have to do on it before I can start writing up a permanent manual for it. I know a lot of you guys and gals are requesting a building tutorial and a printed building guide. Some of you are willing to pay for the guide and the building tutorial and stuff. So there will be both. There will be a guide and then the video tutorial. Now, when am I going to have those done? I can't really answer that because not even I know. You know, I won't know until I finish the video tutorial. So I mean, I have a tutorial right there. I can't even film. That's not the tutorial that I wanted to get done too. Okay, it just needs to be done because I'd like to get it, you know, built for your guys and gals entertainment. Looks like this might go on the top. I bet this goes up here. I bet that fits up there. But we won't know until we finish the job, eh? Let's finish it up. You know what I'm tasting right now? Peanut butter cookies. Homemade. Peanut butter cookies, snickerdoodles, sugar, chocolate chip, and you know what? The thing is, I got all the cookie mix and the ingredients that I need to make it in my pantry. So I need to get some time and bake some goods. You know, bake some cookies. My cookies always turn out good for some reason. They don't get burnt on the bottom or anything like that. I mean, the first time I baked, I messed up a couple of times, only to find out that my oven is just, you run it, you know, if it burns, obviously you got the right temperature. Okay, why don't I just back it off a minute? So I did. Things got a little better. Backed it off 2 minutes. They come out perfect. You know, sometimes the instructions, they tell you like to bake, like, you know, bake 8 to 10 minutes. Bake it at 8. So you got and mileage will vary a bit, you know, across different brands of ovens and stuff. Like mine's is an electric oven, so my other place I had a gas oven. I was used. It was one of those old ones where you had to just kind of guess the temperature. Like, say, like you turn the knob, it goes like to 200, 250, 300, and stuff like that. And that was pretty much what it was. Those are cool little lamps. And took several tries, but I ended up learning how to do it, you know. And by all means, I'm not a baker. I baked homemade sugar cookies completely from scratch one time. It was my grandmother's recipe. To see if I can do it. And I did. Followed it down to the T. I wish she was still alive to help me with it, but these were like really butter. They had that really margarine butter taste, sugar cookies. My goodness. Oh, we got to put a sticker on that. Ugh. And that's sticker number 11. Well, obviously we know which way this one's going to go. There's only one way that can fit on there. But yeah, that's one thing I do miss though when you get older and your grandparents pass away is, you don't get to go to your grandma's house for holiday dinners and stuff. That's one thing I do miss though. We used to have big old family Thanksgivings when I was a kid. And not anymore though, but I forgot to put these on here. Used to go to my grandparents for Thanksgiving and Christmas. That was like a magical time. That was the time you can get away with things. And now it's like you can't do that anymore. I only have one grandparent that's still alive actually, and she's my step-grandmother, but she always treated my sister and I and everybody else like the real kid, like real grandkids. She was one of those that would bake all the time. Imagine just having a grandma that just bakes goodies all the time and stuff. That was always fun. She'd bake a lot of stuff. And she's up there in age, but I don't think she does it that much anymore. So it's like, well, I'm going to have to learn how to do it. So I can just see these falling off. Okay. And we're ready to install this on the top. Now, just the way this is, though, this really does look pretty good, so you just have to work that in there. See if I can get it to where you can see it. So we're going to do it on the back side here. How do you attach this in here? I mean, that's a good question. How do you do it? Just work it in? I'm just going to tack it in there just a little bit. I'm just going to slowly wiggle things down in there. And just kind of really get those things in there like that. And there you go. Pretty good, huh? I think I got them all the way in. Yeah, that's as much as they can go in, but yeah, so there it is. And that's it's pretty sturdy too. We got to make 2 more lanterns. Oh, we got to build down on those. Okay. Yeah, but I do miss the holidays with my grandparents. Like both my grandfathers have passed away and all that stuff, so it's just pretty much that's it. Okay, these are printed here. When I do that, I want to make sure the bunny is facing this way. Yeah, but every time I would go to my grandma's house, though, you go in there and the first thing you'd smell is fresh cookies baking in the oven. That's my step-grandmother. My mom's grandma, or my mom's mother, well, my grandmother on my mom's side, she was a baker too, but not as much. She didn't really have any toys or any activities for children. So going to her house, it was pretty boring. You would sit there and watch TV and stuff like that. And I think if you were 16 or 17, she'd let you smoke in her house because she was a heavy smoker. I remember some of my cousins would go over to her house, and man, they would be lighting up. My goodness. And of course, back in that time, though, they were allowed. Back when I was a kid, even smoking, I guess, was cool. I never got into it. I just thought, ugh. Man, I don't want to walk around smelling like a cigarette. Even a lot of the gals that I like, they just like, no, don't do it. So I never tried it, never cared to try it, and Yeah, I just don't really care to do all that stuff, so probably why I'm so youthful in the like my face is still pretty youthful for what it is. I always get that question. What's your secret? I'm like, you want to know my secret? Yeah, and I point at their mouth and said, that's the secret right there. Just don't do it. Oh, well, I enjoy this. I'm like, well, that's cool if you do. I'm just telling you my secrets. All right, there's something that goes there. But but there wasn't really a whole lot at my mother grandma's house. My step grandmother was always games. There was toys and stuff like that. There was always stuff to do there. Going to her house was like going to Disneyland. You know, pretty cool. And okay, so this fits in here. So we're gonna have to. Does that just stay in there? Do I have to position or what? Okay, so it rests right on that tile. Okay, I was like, well, how's that going to stop? That just doesn't look right. Oh, there's supposed to be those things there. It doesn't hit that all the way though. That's the thing. That makes more sense there. And it's got these little jingly things right here. So I forgot to put that on. Whoa! Let me just pull this off here real quick. Also, I had an aunt that's long been since deceased, and she was very opinionated. She would not have approved of what I'm doing now with Lego. She always thought this is, oh, you don't want to do Lego at your age, you know. People are going to make fun of you. Well, let them do as they may. I'm not going to be able to stop them, you know. At the end of the day, I can still enjoy my hobby and relax. Yeah. It's either that or sit at a bar. And I don't prefer to do that. Okay, so the little jingly things are pretty cool there. Looks like they just sit in here. That's all they do. It's a float, right? It's supposed to look pretty fancy. You know, we don't have a lot left, but it's a lot of little pieces. And the problem here is it's just getting it done, and the manual is just right at the end, so it wants to kind of flop around like a fish. I'm hoping there's no more stickers left on this thing, but there might be. Yeah, but I do miss going to my grandma's house on the holidays. I mean, I have cousins and stuff, but I haven't seen any of them in like years. What's this, the cattle bumper here? I had an uncle who used to do Lego. He was like the grandfather of AFOLs. Mind you, this is in the 80s, so things are not as friendly back then as they are now. People more accepting of the hobby. He was really heavy into space. Okay, we got another one of these things, and we have 3 stickers all in a row there. My goodness gracious, yikes. We are going to have to put all that on there in one sitting, too. Matter of fact, I kind of wish now more and more I would have kept those old Reebok shoes that I had when I was a kid. And of course, I wouldn't be able to wear them today. My feet would be too big. I think I was like 11 or 12 when I got them. Stickers are coming up. Oh no. We're going to have to prepare ourselves. Oh no, I'm going to have to put all those on there. I'm going to tell you one thing though, when I'm done reviewing this and I get ready to part it out, that shit's getting ripped off there. I tell you what, that's going to go. And they're all 13s too, so that shouldn't be too bad. Alright. And yes, I'm cussing on this channel because I'm trying to keep this channel though we all know about COPPA and its horror stories. So if you say a bad word, well, it's not intended for little kids. These are never intended for kids, you know. That's just how it is. I won't go any more than saying the S word. I mean, why not? They cussed on the January 6th hearings. I guess it's okay to do it on YouTube. I'm not calling anybody names or saying anything inappropriate. Well, there's not a whole lot left. So we got a bunch of these Lego logos and some of this stuff. So I have a feeling that's going to be in another part of the book because we're almost done here. Well, no, we got this stuff. So this could still get stickified. Okay, these go in here. We're just going to work that in very slowly here. There we go. I got that locked right up there. Here we go. Just kind of straightening that up a bit. That's pretty sturdy actually. It looks like it would just break right off. You know, I've got to put the slopes on this here. You think they would have used teal on that instead of the, or the blue-green instead of just the gray angular plates. Okay. Alright. And 2 sticks go in here. Well, wouldn't we put those in first? I mean, oh, you have to slide them down all the way in there. Well, I'm going to pop this thing off here. Why is this even first in the first place? Now I can go in there and grab right on in there. Why didn't we put these on here first? It would have made more sense. So I can easily work those down in there. Why didn't we put those in there first, Lego? I don't get that. I'm going to have to put that back on there now. That's going to be a chore. Yep, because this thing's starting to fall apart now. I follow the manual too. I'll show you here in a second. They tell you to just drop them right down in there, but that would not have worked. So, you got me. Sometimes I don't know who writes the manuals up on these. Pop that out all the way. Well, I can't get that in there. Oh, there we go. Well, no, now I'm getting pieces falling off. So, that's it. It's kind of like a crappy way of doing that there. I just got to make sure everything's lined back up again. Adding a lot of detail to a build is one thing, but when it gets this brutal, where I'm literally lining up plates that are barely hanging on there, yeah, that's another problem. So see right here, this was already here, and they tell me to drop these down in there. I think they had these two things switched. You know, I sometimes when they're doing manuals, even I'll catch my manuals doing that. When I do revisions of my manuals, I kind of look at things going, do I really like it like that? I'm not happy. If I have to reach around and do something, it's kind of questionable. I wouldn't want somebody to build that and literally cussing me out going, what was Jay thinking when he designed this behemoth, you know? So I don't want to do that. I try to think of ways to make this stuff so easy. Alright, so 2 of these. Let me put this in here first. It would be easier to set this on here. I'll show you. They want me to set these in here. Well, this right here is only sitting on one stud right here. They want me to put those and set that on top. You know, it may not fall apart, but I didn't quite trust that. Not a lot of support in there, so I didn't want to risk it. Not even for the brisket. Alright. And my eyes are starting to burn too. I'm going to be very tired. I've been working non-stop on sets just to do the review. You know, a lot of people when they review these things, so they don't even talk about the build process or anything, you know, or anything like that. Like, oh, I had fun building it. Well, what was fun about it? Oh, I just had fun putting it together. Or saying, well, this set was hard. Well, like this, I can tell you where the hard parts are at. Like anything little like that is going to fall off. Oh, we got more stickers. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I'm going to put the sticker on last. Oh, it's on an inverted one. What a waste. Well, we know what's going to happen to that one in a few weeks. Yep, that'll go too. We won't be playing games with that. We will rip that right off of there. Now I'm going to stick it on there first and then stick the sticker, and that's number 9. Yes, if this was the set that I purchased, you would not see any of these stickers being placed on there. I did not realize how many Lego sets just have sticker sheets like this. That's just a lot. I mean, it's a lot of stickers. Okay, I see. I think a minifigure is going to stand inside there, because that thing will go right between their legs. And okay, it goes like that. As long as this part of the cloud here is lined up with this portion here, you're fine. So I'm assuming it's just like that too. So just these 3 bumps are supposed to touch down here, and then that kind of fills it in. That's a pretty neat little cart. And then it goes on the sticks there. Well, wish me luck. I'm just going to put my finger in there and hold both sides and just push that down very carefully. I mean, it's pretty sturdy, but it's, I don't know, it just kind of looks crooked all of a sudden, or is it just turned weird? There we go. Okay. And now we're still building things. Whoa. Something else I got to go grab. Stand by. That's how things are. Here we go. One of these. Okay, so this it attaches here, but it just sits down there. That's all it does. This just attaches back here. Well, this Lego stuff is dangerous. I'm getting cut on it now. It just sticks here and it just sits like that. It just sits there. It just sits there. So I thought it connected to something for extra support. No, it does not. Well, as far as I know of right now, it doesn't. And we're still not done yet. I got just a handful of parts, but we still got a lot of stuff to build here. This must be the hood ornament. Yeah, I hate to think to see how long the last installment's going to be, because there's 4 bags. Okay, there we go. And this goes right here in the front. Doesn't really show where though. I'm only assuming it's right above these here. Okay. Well, I found that extra Technic pin we were losing way back over there. And this is the last thing I think. We know we got more stuff to put on after this. I mean, look, there's not a lot back here, and we're still got to put more stuff on. Oh, this is just one thing. Alright, we're going to have to pull all this off here. It's perforated, so it should be very easy to remove. Okay. Alright, so it doesn't look like it fits in those holes, but it will, because there's actually a slit between them. So I'm just going to pop that right in there. Put it right in the big hole here. It should be enough here. It may have to hold underneath. Yeah. There we go. Okay. That was risky. And then... okay, I see what's going on here. And then there's 2 holes here. They go on these here, and you want to take some gold studs. They have them sitting upside down, but I don't think it matters which way. We're just going to push those down on there, and it kind of keeps it like that. Okay. Alrighty, get that crowned off right there. Yeah, a friend of mine wants to buy this set because he saw it on the LEGO website. He's like, I really want that. And I didn't want to say, well, it's a good build. Couldn't say anything. Oh, well, looks pretty interesting. And that's it. Okay, so yeah, it shows this right here. We're not even done yet, but I could have built any one of these manuals in any order. So, basically, how does the drummer fit in there? Does her back legs just sit on the back there? Okay, I see. Let's put her in there real quick. So she just snaps right on here. And I don't know if you can see that. I'll just put it up here closer and I'll just spin the wheel, and you can see she does that. So that's kind of brutal there, her getting thrown around like that. And yeah, that's pretty much what's left right here. And so far, just by doing, I'm going to say it's probably a good strong 8. Just the stickers kind of turned me off on it. This stuff here, it's not stuck to the bricks. Now, so far, just by looking at this, this stuff here can fall apart and stuff like that. But I think, honestly, though, Oh, excuse me, it's a nice little float. I mean, it's minifigure scaled, and yeah, this would look good down any Lego city. So if you got like a Main Street or something like that, yeah, this would be perfect. And you know, I think that would look good going down a road between some modular buildings. As long as you don't have some tall trees that this thing's going to get whacked into, it'd be fine. But yeah, so that concludes this installment of the, what is this thing called here again? The Lunar New Year Parade. So we got one more float to make and probably some accessories, and that will be the end of that. So stay tuned.